Okay, Dr. Williams, can you, bring us back in?
So we are returning from our closed session, and I would like to motion that we accept the superintendent's report and recommendations for personnel as presented. Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Williams and a second by, Vice Chair Pereza. Do we have any discussion? Ms. Parker, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Pam Pereza,
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Doyle,
Yes.
Rodney Walton, Valerie Rose,
Yes.
and Sharon Warren.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now we are going to transition into our committee meeting. It is my pleasure to call the committee meeting for April 15th, 2024 to order. Ms. Parker, can we have a roll call vote, or roll call, please?
Yes. Angela Cobb,
Here.
Pam Pereza,
Here.
Dr. Sheila Williams,
Present.
Tommy Doyle,
Here.
Rodney Walton,
Here.
Valerie Rose,
Here.
and Sharon Warren.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Warden, can you read our ethics awareness statement, please?
Sure can. Welcome to the April 15th, 2024 meeting of the Elizabeth City Castleton Board of Education. It is my duty to remind members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest in accordance with Chapter 138A of North Carolina General Statutes. As public servants, it is your duty to continually monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board today? Let the record reflect that no conflicts exist.
Thank you, Ms. Warden. At this time, I need a motion to approve our agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda today.
All right, and can I have a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please, Ms. Parker.
Madam Chair, if you second that.
That's Dr. Williams.
Okay, thank you. Pam Pereza,
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams,
Yes.
Tommy Doyle,
Yes.
Rodney Walton, Valerie Rose,
Yes.
and Sharon Warren.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We are now going to move right into our agenda items for the committee meeting, beginning with the Financial Business and Technology Committee. And we'll turn it over now to Ms. Warden, who is the chair.
Good evening, and it is my pleasure to turn things over to Ms. Candy Kelly, our Assistant Superintendent of Finance.
Good evening, Madam Chair, and Madam Vice Chair, and other distinguished board members. For you tonight is the purchasing report, FBC 01. Any questions in regards to that? Okay. Moving on to the fundraising report, there's one for Northeastern. Any questions? FBT 03 is the expense, the quarterly expense report. If you will look at the percentages spent, we are right where we should be at 3/4 of the way through the year. Any questions in regards to that? FBT 04 is the rental report. This is for information. Any questions? All right, FBT 05, budget amendments. The state public school fund. You'll review the, attachment that explains the reason for the changes. We have received some additional funding. Any questions? Local current expense, that's just to move some funds, to more accurately reflect the expenditures from one purpose to another. The federal grants fund, this is to align with the allotments as received by DTI. And finally, the, local special revenue fund, we received some grant funds that we needed to budget. Any questions in regards to this? Okay, moving on to the FETO 6, Ms. Marlene Wilkins with, assistance from the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction did a bid for a roofing project at River Road Middle School. You should have copies of that, bid tabulation. The total bid is $497,407. This is under budget. Any questions on that? Ms. Wilkins is here to answer any questions in regards to that.
When will that project start? Soon as school's out, and the week school project as well?
Yes, and she and I discussed this today in regards to summer school, because I think summer school is definitely going to be at River Road, and I think it's going to be held at week school as well, and we will work around that, like housing the students in a section that will not be done. Not be,
The companies who are going to be doing the work, they're aware of that. Right?
Yes.
And that is traditional shingles, or are we going with metal? No, traditional. Okay.
and so, since you asked about the week school project, that is FET 07. The recommendation, the contract for both is HRH, and the base bid for the week school project is $194,392, and again, that one is under budget as well. Okay, finally, hot off the press, the last thing is the 21st Century Learning Grants. We were presented this opportunity by East Carolina University's Community Schools, and of course, that came to us from Mr. Bartlett. We have the opportunity to apply for a 1.5, it should be about $1.5 million over 3 years. ECU has hired a grant writer to do, the grant writing for this grant. But the turnaround is extremely quick. We found out about this grant the week before spring break, and the deadline is due on April 23rd. So Ms. Sandy Kinzel, our interim director of federal programs, has been working with the grant writer hired by ECU. The program would be for an after-school program, Monday through Friday. And, it would include a summer program for 2 to 3 weeks, possibly run concurrent with our normal summer reading camp. The grant is very, very specific in the amount of hours that are required. Minimum of 300 hours. Again, to do that, we have to operate Monday through Friday from 2:45 to 5:15. That would have to include intensive intervention for at least 45 minutes, enrichment activities for at least 45 minutes, and we cannot begin any sooner than October 15th. So that's why they're having to run 5 days, because of the short. We start so much later and then be able to run it, and it would run through the end of the year. And if I remember correctly, Ms. Ambrose, I think, stopped it right before, EOGs. It would also require 3 parent-family engagement nights, that has been determined that we can hold those in conjunction with our community schools nights that we've already started. This grant does require a minimum attendance. So they would have to have a minimum of 105 students every week. If I remember correctly, the attendance percentage of the students, it has to be at 90% to not affect funding. The staffing that would be required would be 12 teachers as well as 12 TAs. It's my understanding that they are writing in the grant for a part-time coordinator to assist Ms. Ambrose and Ms. Everett with the management of that, because there would be a period of time that our teachers would already, they'd still be on the clock in their regular teaching job. And so they couldn't start the after-school program until after their hours ended for their regular teaching job. The staff has been a part of this, they've been, and the reason for this offer press, we really don't have a whole lot of paperwork, is because they had to do today and it's their survey. But they, are in agreement that we should apply for this grant.
One thing I would add really quick is the opportunity came to us really quickly, and so we had to, we've been trying, well, two things we've been doing. Sandy, Candy, PWS team has been working on the application. So they've been compiling information in the event that we make a decision to apply. As of today, we've not made a 100% decision to apply. But we've been working on the application because it's so short of turnaround time, we don't have time to wait. So we're sort of doing two things at once here. We're working on the application around to make sure we're ready. Second part is we're really investing some time in conversations with PWS staff to make sure we have enough buy-in. As Amy mentioned, Ms. Ambrose has surveyed all her teachers. She met with them at the staff meeting a week ago. She's met with her school improvement team. Really making sure we have input from the staff. Now, the staff themselves do not have to provide the staffing for this program for 3 years. We could use teachers from across the district. We could use teachers in the community. We could use CCSU students. You know, there's a wide range of folks that will pull to help support the program. The reality of it is the majority of the teachers in the league has to come from PWS because they know the students. So we've been trying to make sure we have a consensus with the staff that they can provide about 60 to 70% of the staffing, and then we can use some of our partners and teachers in other buildings to help with that. So that part we know we can take. We also, through Sandy and federal programs, will be able to submit grants by Wednesday if that's something we decide to do. We just want to update the board today. We're not asking the board will have to vote to approve the application. If we decide to make that recommendation, we're not making that recommendation tonight, but we do have to post a notice online to the general public that we're considering applying. We're going to post that today. Just wanted to inform the board that's going up. Now, that posting itself still does not commit us, right? So we're having to do several things at once right here. What we plan to do is come to the board on Monday, the 22nd, and have a recommendation. And so it looks as if today that we've got a lot of energy from the staff to move ahead with this. We still need to take the rest of this week to fully process the logistics and how we support that. It's a tremendous opportunity for that school. We just want to make sure before we hit the button on the application, we have thoroughly projected our ability to support the grant. Mr. Fudge was a principal in Georgia, an elementary school that ran a 21st century learning grant. And he's spoken to just the transformative ability. Think about it. Every kid in that building will have an opportunity to go to tutoring every day for 3 years and get a fully funded summer program for 3 years. I mean, that's huge. That could change outcomes for kids at that school. We just got to make sure we can get the management funds. I believe we can. We'll take the rest of this week to really process on that. So any questions from the board? I know we're not ready to make a formal presentation. We do that on Monday. But any initial questions you have after hearing that?
I have one. So if we're looking at a population of 100 plus, are we gonna look at transportation to get them home? Okay,
That's part of the proposal, because those funds can be used, we can identify those funds and use those for transportation.
And then the other question I have is, has there been any thought given to, if we're looking into hopefully adding more community schools in our district in the future, are we kind of thinking about looking at opportunities like this for those possible schools?
We talked about some of that. I think if we were to launch the 21st century grant at PWS and have some success, I think that would give us some momentum to apply for future 21st century grants at Northeastern DC. We have some of our other schools that are becoming community schools. So the answer to that would be yes. But think there's two things here. These grants are hugely transformative for schools. They are very, very powerful, but they are extremely time-intensive grants that have federal requirements that require a lot of supervision and human capital. So we're balancing the two. We don't want to lose an opportunity, a multi-million-dollar opportunity, but we also want to make sure that when we apply, we have full confidence that we can staff the program over 3 years and manage the funds. I believe we can, but we still need the rest of this week to continue the process while we're on that.
Did you say you can hire through this grant as far as personnel, or will you have to do that?
I'm correct on that. We can hire community partners.
Yes, and actually, as part of this grant, that gives you more points if you're, working with community partners. Because we had even entertained the notion of having a community partner lead this and us assist somewhat, and we agreed about it, but
So we can hire university students to come in,
yes,
tutors,
yes.
and they can be paid. And I think that partnership, we're gonna have to have that partnership, it's the same for 3 years. Because you can see a model where you might have our own TAs and teachers rotate through on a rotational basis, because to ask a teacher to work in an after-school program the entire year, I think is somewhat ambitious. So I think what could be a little more reasonable is to say, if you want to work this quarter, and then we have a group of staff that's ready to move into second quarter, or fourth quarter, you sort of rotate them. And you may have staff that's going to work the whole thing, cool, that's good. But I would suspect there would be people that would want to work portions of the year and then come out, maybe come back in, and that's okay. But to supplement the staffing, you've got to have partners, university students, so ones, residential teachers, et cetera, that can come in if we have to maintain staffing throughout the whole year. So, those are some of the pieces that we're exploring.
And, in addition to that, the enrichment that we had talked about, even, community members like artists, dance teachers, that type of thing. Taekwondo, whatever, for the enrichment piece, yes. we can.
How about high school students?
I don't know if we can pay potentially any students. Maybe if they were in their senior year, 18 years old, potentially we might be able to, but I don't know if we can pay high school students. Now, obviously, on a volunteer internship basis, high school students are always welcome in these models. I don't know if we would be able to fund, that's a question we can ask.
I was just thinking about students who are interested in the teacher academy that we've talked about. And, those students who are very interested in teaching as a career. An apprenticeship or something.
And we had the 21st century program at Northeast years ago, Burt Lane was the coordinator. And they ran very well. It was an after-school program, but transportation. And so you might want to contact him and get some insight into.
And we're talking to Tammy about snacks, and Ms. Barnhart about snacks.
So we're not taking action on this one.
No action tonight. Yeah, just wanted to inform the board that we are posting a public notice that we are exploring the intention to apply. The public notice does not commit us to apply. Just wanted to inform the board so you see that and know where it's coming from. If we decide to apply, we're going to ask the board to take action next Monday on the 22nd. At that point, we'll have a presentation and update from the board, and some things in writing that you can see. And as Amy mentioned, we're moving quickly on this because the opportunity came to us very recently. So, I think my reaction, the board will remember that in the past year, we have been accepted into several multi-million-dollar grants that come from a lot of different places, the federal government, state government, and some of our local partners. And so, we're at a point now where we receive so many million-dollar grants that we have to balance our capacity to manage them. And that's a real thing. But then there's this world of, it's hard to say no to $1 million. So, but we also want to manage that. So we're trying to continue to think about our own capacity and opportunities are coming to our district very abundantly. We want to make sure that we are strategic about the ones we choose that have the most impact on kids. It's it's a good problem to have a lot of new documents coming away. And so I'm thankful for these opportunities. We just have to make a commitment to use, well, ultimately it's taxpayer money in an efficient way. So, we're doing those things along the way.
There are no other questions for Ms. Tilly, and thank you, Ms. Tilly, and I would like to make a motion to approve FBT-02 fundraisers, FBT-06, the roofing bid for River Road, and FBT-07, the roofing bid for Weedsville Elementary.
We have a second? Any further discussion? Ms. Parker, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Pam Braza.
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams. Yes. Tommy Owen.
Yes.
Rodney Walton. Valerie Bogues.
Yes.
And Sharon Wood.
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Tilly, and, those in your department that helped with all those presentations. Next, we're gonna do,
I have one more
Chair.
motion.
oh, I'm sorry, I saw it, I just noticed it.
Okay, I'd like to move to place FBT-05, budget amendments 108, 204, 308, and 805 on the consent agenda for the April regular board meeting.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Parker?
Pam Braza.
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams. Yes. Tommy Owen.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Bogues.
Yes.
And Sharon Wood.
Yes.
Now we'll move on to the Personalized Education Committee, and the chair of that committee, Ms. Perez.
And we have Rachel Main, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, is going to present the 2024 Summer School Retest Program and correction dates.
Chair College, Brandon Ford University. At March 25th, 2024 board meeting, the summer retest program was presented and approved as meeting on June 25th, 2024. However, June 25th is the last instructional day for summer retest. The testing is June 26th and 27th, and therefore the program technically ends on June 27th. So tonight, we're asking the board to approve a technical correction to the dates for the 2023-2024 summer program plan, attachment PE01. Are there any questions?
So I make a motion to approve PE01, the correction of the dates of the same as presented to us tonight.
Thank you, have a second?
Second.
Ms. Parker, who'd you do that?
Ms. Bogues.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pam Braza.
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams. Yes. Tommy Owen.
Yes.
Rodney Walton. Valerie Bogues.
Yes.
And Sharon Wood.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Do we have any other business this evening for the committee meetings?
Madam Chair, I would recommend that you recess the meeting and resume the meeting at 6 o'clock and conduct the public hearing as a part of the regular monthly meeting.
So can I get a motion to adjourn our committee meeting? please?
To recess the committee meeting.
To recess. To recess. So we don't have to have a motion, or do we?
We have to have a motion.
To recess, all right?
I move to go into recess.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to recess our committee meeting and move into, public hearing at 6 o'clock. Any further discussion? Ms. Parker, roll call vote, please.
Pam Braza.
Yes.
Dr. Sheila Williams. Yes. Tommy Owen.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Bogues.
Yes.
And Sharon Wood.
Yes.
Okay, we are now in recess until 6 o'clock.